Hello, everyone, and welcome along to the Italian Grand Prix. Then we're here at the Temple of Speed in Monza. We have some news to bring to you already. Pierre Gasly has reported problems exiting the pit lane. Then obviously he will start in the pit lane, but he's had to return to his garage to sort out whatever problem he has. We're not quite sure what exactly that problem is. And we're hearing that it might be a problem with the front suspension. And if that is the case, then surely that'd be Pierre Gasly out of this one already. Then there's John Todd, and everyone walks down the grid to get ready for the podium ceremony, which for the national anthem ceremony, which will be coming up very, very shortly. But let's recap qualifying then. So Max Verstappen will start on pole position. Actually, we're just going to hear from Christian Horner first.
It's an easy win for Max today. It's all part of the mind games, I think. So a win here is never easy, but first thing is to get the start and get through that first chicane. So I think if we can survive the first lap, then you settle into your race from there.
Based on the differences we saw yesterday, Christian, with tyres, people going for the soft for the straight line. Has it been an easy decision on your side? What strategy you're going for?
We've gone for the best strategy that we think suits us. So what the others do, you can't control. So when the covers come off, you'll see what everybody's got and go from there. We know the McLarens are quick off the line, but it's about where you are, obviously at the end of the race. But to come out of that first chicane in the lead would be a major bonus.
If you do that, are you confident the McLarens can keep Lewis in behind over the course of the whole race?
Well, they had a good pace yesterday. I think it's always the second half of the race when everything starts to degrade and so on. That's when you really see, like in Hungary, that Mercedes come alive. So it might be a bit static to begin with, but it'll come alive later on.
Christian, thanks very much. Martin, back to you.
So Christian, simply concerned that the Mercedes might come alive towards the end of the race. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton starting in fourth. Valtteri Bottas will start last because he's taking grid penalties. So and they're just lifting the engine cover off of Red Bull to try and get some cool air into that Honda engine because it is really, really hot day at Monza today. A couple of clouds in the sky, but it is about 28 degrees, so a very, very nice temperature. Right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it will be and when we come back, it'll be time for the national anthem.
Tactically today.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Monza. So let's take you through the grid. On the front row we will have Ricardo. Actually no, we're not going to take you through the grid. We are going to get ready for the obviously Sano will start 50th, Mazepin will start his highest F1 position 60, and obviously Bottas will start from the back. Pierre Gasly will start from the pit lane if he can get going. He's reported some problems on his AlphaTauri on the installation lap, so we will wait and see if that car can be fixed, ready for lights out in 19 minutes time then. So as the drivers head towards the front of the grid then, it's almost time for the end races and message. Heineken Italian Grand Prix 2021. It's always a cracker at Monza, isn't it? We had a good, fantastic race here last year with Pierre Gasly taking the victory. But now it's time for the re-racers one message.
We race, compete on the tracks, in the pits, as a sport. But we all race for something bigger.
It's time to race
for equality.
It's time we race for
sustainability. It's time we race to be global citizens.
It's time we race for equal access, opportunities, and representation.
Because sport can change the world, but it's up to us to make sure that change is for the better.
United, we are stronger.
Change starts with you.
It needs to come from your heart. Keep working,
Keep learning, keep on understanding.
we have a platform to
Shift change.
starting little by little.
Loyal girl and women united for the same causes. We have the opportunity to spread the right message.
If we all pull together, every single person has responsibility.
The best example is our own example.
We need to be responsible on what kind of mark we leave.
We don't have all the answers yet, but we can help find them.
Change starts here. We race.
We race.
We race.
We race.
We race.
We race as one.
Ever as important as the drivers take the lead, we race as one. Ever as important, as I said, the fight for equality in the world carries on, and as the platform that we have with Formula One, we have to make use of that pit lane. There's celebrities. We haven't quite seen this atmosphere since the start of the pandemic. Celebrities, famous people. Usain Bolt is there this weekend, so there is quite a lot of change for Monza that we haven't really seen in the past 18 months, maybe excluding Silverstone. Right, it's one of the best national anthems. It's the Italian national anthem. Italian national anthem rings out across Monza. It is one of the best national anthems of the year. The fly past also to finish it off with the red, white, and green of the Italian flag. The grid's packed. We're all set for a cracker at Monza then. And we've got, 14 minutes until lights out. And we're going to hear from Lando Norris now.
Better one today. Is a podium possible?
I mean, it's possible if things go according to plan, but you never know here. Things can always happen with the safety cars and so on. And we have some very quick cars behind us. So we'll try. We obviously have our plan in place and our strategies for the race, but a lot of it has to be done, after turn one, after the first lap and so on. So we just need to be ready for everything.
So Lando, if you get ahead of Daniel Ricardo, you do change strategy, or does you still have the same strategy depending on you decided before the race, or is it all flexible?
Yeah, we have just strategies for as many scenarios as possible. So whether that's me coming out of turn one in first or third or fifth or whatever, we have all of our plans in place. So it doesn't matter really who's ahead or who's behind. I think we're ready for most scenarios, and the further up our way into turn one, the better.
No, go on, I appreciate it. We're just ready to see if we can get Usain Bolt.
Right, so we're going to see if we can.
Let's just get an update on George Russell.
We're going to see if we can. Just getting an update from George Russell actually. We've actually got Usain Bolt, which we'll be talking to him next.
Definitely. So you're with Aston Martin today, presumably supporting them. Have you had a word with Sebastian Vettel and Alonso?
I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, so I actually just stopped by and said hi a while ago.
What did Lewis have to say to you?
He's ready. You know what I mean? I was just wishing him all the best, and I'm excited to be here to watch what's going to happen.
Have you done any racing yourself? You say you're that big to get into one of these things.
Yeah, I'm too big, but I actually like to drive. I'm trying to go to the Ferrari track. I did test drive, the BMW track, so I tend to like fast cars.
You like fast cars, you also like football. Manchester United fan, I'm sure you're pretty happy with Ronaldo's return.
Yeah, definitely. He's showing the class. Our team look really different, and I'm very pleased about this season.
Tom, thanks, you said. Thanks for stopping by and talking to us. Appreciate it. Let's get an update from Ted. As we said,
we're going to talk to Ted Rabbits now with George Russell.
No, absolutely not yet anyway, Simon. There's life in us all, but got to say, Monza is the best grid of the season. Why? Because you can go from one point and have a look at brake ducts and talking about how George Russell is fine with his brakes, something weird he felt, but it's absolutely fine. George will be fine for the race. And then, look, there's Vin Diesel. It's only Vin Diesel on the grid, and insert your own little Fast and Furious Monza 21 edition reference in there. He's having an absolutely great time. He's just meeting Susie Wolff, hanging out with Lewis Hamilton, absolutely loving it. Check out those guns. Oh, he could probably fit in these cars, though. Maybe not. Oh, look at that. How about that for an image?
Vin Diesel and Usain Bolt.
And that is the thing. You only go, hey up, Usain. Yeah, you're right. That is the only thing you get. That's the kind of thing you get on the Monza grid. Then you think you can drive these cars? You got to give it a go. Got to give it a go. Get in there. Get in there, son. You are in there. Yeah. Brilliant. Woo. Right. And then we can go and have a look in the eyes of the drivers. And there's nobody. Oh, John Elkann, top man of Fiat. There's nobody who does a preparation like this man. Let's just keep our distance. We're like twitchers here on the grid. I've spotted one. He's got bright feathers and a lovely beak. He's Daniel Ricardo, and he has this way of preparing for the Grand Prix, which is unlike anybody else. He's just been doing some loosening up, and in a minute he's going to go and have a look. Look at his look at his head. Look, he's talking to himself. He's singing to himself. He's just checking his whatnots. He's going to put his earpieces in. Come around the other side, Lee. Come around the other side. We can look into his eyes, because this is the best chance he's had for ages of getting back on the podium. A horrible weekend just vanished. All those horrible weekends for McLaren when he's been outclassed, outpaced by Lando Norris, and suddenly he's on the front of the grid, and he has got a slip for at least the podium, and you never know, maybe a bit more. He's already got an eyeball the first corner. Now he always gets into the car and just settles himself, then puts his helmet on. Just a few little dips and dabs, a few little sort themselves out, and then he gets in. Always the same routine for the honey badger. Right, we've seen enough of him. Let's go and have a look at Lando Norris.
Right.
Because Lando are very different.
We're going to come away from Ted, and we're going to go for a quick break. And when we come back, we'll be live with uninterrupted coverage from Italy. So, Yuki Tsunoda has just been pushed off the grid then, and he's being pushed back into the pit lane. This is not good news for Yuki Tsunoda, who has just got out of the car. Will he be able to start? As it stands, it could be a double DNF for Valtteri. But now it's time for the Italian Grand Prix.
As a spectator is awesome.
Lewis Hamilton's had a bit of a shocker at the start. Bottas wins the sprint. Max Verstappen comes home to take second place.
Hey, well done, Max. That's pole position for tomorrow. Those people.
Well, it's time for the Temple of Speed. and the Italian Grand Prix. It's the Formula 1 Heineken Gran Premio d'Italia for 2021. And the second race here in Italy is round 14 of the FIA Formula 1 World Championship. Monza, 3,000 trees have been planted in the Royal Park of Monza, and a project to cultivate and care for its forest heritage is being implemented. Ferrari have won at Monza 19 times, which is the record for the most victories by any constructor at any circuit. Let's take a look at our track then. 5.793 kilometers, 3.6 miles. We got a top speed of 362.5 kilometers an hour. 11 turns at the race lap record, 125.0. Got an elevation change of 12.8 meters into the Rettifilio. Then 2020 Gasly and Albon, it got all so close, and Albon had to go straight on. Cavigrande then, Alonso and Vettel in 2012. Alonso went all the way round the outside, but he went onto the grass, and Sebastian Vettel kept his position. Towards the Ascari then, Stroll and Sainz last year after the restart. Stroll went all the way around the outside at Ascari of Carlos Sainz. What a move that was. Right, let's have a look at our tyres then. We've got the C4, the C3 and the C2 this weekend. The middle range, and we got the wet weather tyres, the wets and the intermediates if it's going to rain, but it does not look like it is going to rain. Let's take a look at your starting grid then for the Italian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen starts on pole position with Daniel Ricardo for McLaren in second, and what a qualifying that was. Lando Norris starts third with reigning world champion Lewis Hamilton in fourth. Leclerc will start fifth he's joined by his Ferrari teammate Carlos Sainz in sixth. German Ansi will start seventh with Sergio Perez in eighth. Lance Stroll will start ninth with Fernando Alonso rounding out the top 10. Vettel will start 11th with Esteban Ocon for company in 12th. Latifi and Russell will start 13th and 14th after they got through to Q2. Tsunoda will start from the pit lane, which means Mazepin will start 16th. Kubica will start 17th. Schumacher will start 18th. Valtteri Bottas will start 19th. And Pierre Gasly will also start in the pit lane for AlphaTauri then.
But he's taken on new units that were the original specification. So it's all to do for Valtteri Bottas.
So Valtteri Bottas has got a lot to do this afternoon from the back of the grid. Lewis Hamilton said it will be easy for Max Verstappen. Well, only time will tell whether it is easy for Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc starting Leclerc radio. So Lewis Hamilton will start on the hard tyre then at the start.
Which hasn't impressed Charles Leclerc a whole lot. He starts, of course, alongside him, Hamilton fourth, Leclerc fifth.
People are going to be scratching their heads on this one, Martin. He's got two new sets of the soft tyre, and the hard is not great off the line. Why would Mercedes?
I mean, the hard isn't great off the line, so why would they choose the hard? That's a strange and bold decision by Mercedes, but it will go longer into the race. So everyone's starting on the mediums, apart from Hamilton, Kubica, Bottas, and Gasly, who will all start on the hard compound tyre then. Right. It is time to go for the formation lap, is it?
They need to change the hydraulic line as well and refill the system. That's not a quick job. So I'm not optimistic, but they're trying.
And the clock is about to tick 3 o'clock, and the formation lap is underway. Has everyone got away from the grid? I think they have. Yeah, other than the last two rows here. Just putting away now. So everyone cleanly off the grid for the formation lap then.
Ricardo and Norris, they want to beat Ferrari. They need a point. That's their real fight, isn't it? They're third place in the World Championship. So McLaren will be saying to them, look, then you start tripping over Verstappen and co. or Hamilton, that's not our race. Our race is with Ferrari. But at the same time,
So, the old Monza banking we're just looking at now. The Tifosi are out in force. It's so good to have them back for this year's event. And Verstappen just leading them through the Lesmo 2 now and towards Iscari, the previous Italian Grand Prix winners, Gasly, Leclerc, Hamilton, and Rosberg. Hamilton's going to have a lot of work to do if he's going to want to win this afternoon in Monza.
I'll tell you what, everyone holding their breath as they always do for a start. And I think a little bit more tension has been in the last few seconds.
Everyone's going to hold their breath as they get towards the Rettifilio for the first time. We know it will be chaos, but who will it be that causes the chaos, one that's involved in the chaos? We have to wait and see. We saw Gasly make contact there. He ended up going off with Curva Grande because he lost his front wing. So Pierre Gasly looking like he is back in this now. But Yuki Tsunoda, unfortunately, that car is out of the Italian Grand Prix already. As Verstappen leads them round the Marco Alboretti corner, or the Parabolica as it used to be known. We're calling it the Alboretti curve for this weekend then.
Italian-based team, of course, Valtteri, and very sadly then, Gasly starts from the pit lane and Tsunoda remains in the pit lane. And the only team to score in every single...
So Verstappen pulls into his grid position. We'll end the two McLarens. Hamilton's backed everyone up to make sure that they're sitting on the grid as long as they can in front of him then. We had a very quick light sequence yesterday for the sprint. Let's hope we can get a good start, a clean start, and everyone can make it round the first couple of corners. Right then, so the Haas of Mick Schumacher pulls into position at the back of the grid. Then it will be Valtteri Bottas, followed by the medical car. Hold your breath, hold your seatbelt, strap them in. We've got the green flag at the back. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights at Monza, and the Italian Grand Prix is go. It's a good start from Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo. And Ricciardo's going to go to the lead in the Italian Grand Prix, is he? Ricardo goes down the inside of the Rettifilio and into the lead, and Hamilton's going to try the outside of Lando Norris as well. And he's got through. They all make it through the Rettifilio, but Ricardo leads the Italian Grand Prix from Max Verstappen then. Wow, what a start from Ricardo. And Hamilton's going for Verstappen, is he? Into the De La Rocha chicane. And they make contact. And Hamilton's had to go over the bumps, and he's going to lose places. And there's a collision. Antonio Giovinazzi's into the barriers. And the De La Rocha chicane to surely bring out the safety car. Hamilton's gone back to fourth position then as they head towards the Iscari chicane for the first time. We've got a green flag then, so maybe Giovinazzi's got going, but that's surely... Has Giovinazzi got going? No, we got the virtual safety car. So it's a virtual safety car. And there's Giovinazzi going round minus a front wing. The two championship protagonists came together. Hamilton Radio. So Verstappen locked up, didn't he? So Daniel Ricciardo leads the Italian Grand Prix for Max Verstappen, who's made contact with his championship protagonist Lewis Hamilton, and the virtual safety car is ending. So we are ready to go back to green flag racing. Hamilton carries on in fourth position then, but has he got damage? We are back green flag racing then, and let's see what they can do. Vettel's got past Russell at the restart. Tsunoda's out of this one already. Giovinazzi's in the pits for a new front wing. And it's a slow start. Can he get it going? No. He was struggling to get away. And Schumacher's just got past Mazepin. It was 11.4 seconds for Giovinazzi. Norris third, Hamilton fourth. Then they're now a bit spread out. Ricardo, Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc side, Stroll, Alonso, Ocon, Latifi, Vettel, Russell, Kubica, Bottas, Schumacher, Mazepin, Gasly, and Giovinazzi are all the way at the back. Then, so what an action-packed first lap at Monza that was, as we go on to lap 3 of this Grand Prix then. And Valtteri Bottas is now going to try and get past Robert Kubica down the straight. No DRS yet, so he's not actually doing it. It's not actually that easy for Valtteri Bottas to get through. Now he gets through down the inside of Robert Kubica, but that wasn't as clear cut as we thought it was going to be. As Gasly just gets past Nikita Mazepin in the background as well. Let's take a look at that frantic race start then. Ricardo got a super launch off the line, and he was already ahead of Verstappen near enough going into the Rettifilio. Norris thought about it. Then Hamilton thought about going down the inside of Lando Norris. Now, as they head to the exit of the Rettifilio, it's Ricardo that leads from Verstappen, and Hamilton's going to get a slipstream all the way through Curva Grande. And as they head up to the De La Rocha chicane, Verstappen locks up and pushes Hamilton straight off the racetrack then. And it was Imola-esque, but the thing is with Imola, it was in the wet, wasn't it? What will the stewards think of this one? We've heard Hamilton complaining over the radio. Ricardo got 0 to 200 kilometers now in 4.6 seconds. That was a lightning start from Daniel Ricciardo. Let's go on board with Lewis Hamilton then, towards the De La Rocha. Is he alongside? Yes, he is. And he does get pushed wide. And Hamilton has less than racing room, and we're just going to wall with Leclerc, and that's how Giovinazzi gets sent off and minus a front wing. Let's have a look with Sebastian Vettel. He gets pushed into the two Aston Martins bang wheels as well. And it's cost Vettel quite dearly because he had to go wide at Lesmo 1 and he's lost a chunk of positions. And Verstappen is closing on Ricardo. And into the curve at the Alboreto curve, race control. DRS has been enabled now then. Verstappen should get DRS. But how quickly will he get past Daniel Ricciardo? And how will Daniel Ricciardo put up a fight for this? I'm sure he will because he's winning. Well, he's leading the Italian Grand Prix. Hamilton has DRS on Lando Norris. Sergio Perez now closing down on Carlos Sainz. Can he go for a move into the Rettifilio? No. And Bottas has just got past George Russell. And is that Pierre Gasly out of this race? It's a double DNF for AlphaTauri at their home Grand Prix. And Verstappen goes wide at Lesmo 2. And the stewards say that turn 4 incident involving Hamilton and Verstappen, there's no investigation necessary. So let's have a look then as they head towards the curve out the Alboreto curve. once more then. And it's going to be Verstappen surely with DRS now. And Sainz and Giovinazzi are under investigation. So for the first time since 2018, Daniel Ricciardo leads a Grand Prix, and Hamilton is now really close to the back of Lando Norris. That's separated by about 0.2 of a second then. They are. So let's go on board with Valtteri Bottas and let's see how he got past George Russell. He blasted past. He's the future driver with his Mercedes car down the home straight with DRS. And that is a breeze for Valtteri Bottas. And all the mean that Verstappen, and all the while Verstappen can't get past Ricardo, Norris and Hamilton are closing Verstappen radio. Verstappen saying it's really, really hard to get close. And they go into the Alboreto curve for another time. If we have a 1 minute 14 race, 1 hour 14 minute race, then it'd be the quickest F1 race in history, by the way. And Verstappen now has got DRS. And is he going to be close enough to Daniel Ricciardo this time to even think about a launch? No, but he is closer than he has ever been before. And Hamilton's still too far back to go for a move on Lando Norris then. Right. This battle for the front is quite fascinating then. Hamilton's hard tyres in theory should go longer, shouldn't they? So Daniel Ricciardo, as I said, leads the Italian Grand Prix from Max Verstappen, from Lando Norris, from Lewis Hamilton, who is just about now within DRS range of the McLaren driver. But Verstappen's really struggling to get past Ricardo, who Ricardo got a much better start, and both AlphaTauris are out of this one already. They had an engine failure. Well, they had problems going to the grid then. They'd have started in the pit lane anyway. Gasly would have done anyway. Tsunoda broke down on the grid, and Gasly he started the race from the pit lane, but he only completed about 3 laps. Right, Hamilton's got DRS then as Latifi gets past Ocon and into 10th place. Hamilton again just too far back for Lando Norris. And it's a time penalty for Antonio Giovinazzi. It's a 5-second time penalty for Antonio Giovinazzi for an unsafe re-entry when going off the track. And there's a lock-up in the background. And was that Valtteri Bottas? It was Valtteri Bottas. He's at the back of a queue of cars, which constructs of Latifi, Ocon, Vettel and Bottas. But Bottas had a big lock-up going into the Rettifilo, and we will see if that spots his tyres then. His soft tyres, his hard, sorry, that he's starting this race on. So both Mercedes started on the hard tyres. And now Bottas is going to get a run towards Iscari. And he's already up to 13th. Lando Norris radio. Hamilton's struggling when he gets close. That's what I said. Will it come down to the pit stops? And the Aston Martin and Vettel's got some front wing damage. Where did that come from? It's sparking away. Hopefully that doesn't come flying off. Is he going to come into the pits? No, he stays out. And race control as Sergio Perez goes for on Carlos Sainz. And Sainz is going to get a run round the outside of Curva Grande again. They're going wheel to wheel. It's so close. At Curva Grande, there's still wheel to wheel. And Sainz tries to close the door, but he can't quite. Perez gets that move done, does he? Yes. And up to 6th place. That was a lovely move from Sergio Perez on Curva Grande and the Rettifilo, as Valtteri Bottas gets Sebastian Vettel as well. But Sergio Perez up to 6th position in the opening 10 laps of this Italian Grand Prix. Let's have a look at it again then. So Perez went deep into the De La Rosia, didn't he? And did Sainz get back at him? Into the Lesmos? No, not quite. And there's quite a big gap out of front now. It's just closing up to about a second. In fact, it's just gone over a second. But Verstappen's out DRS now as well of Daniel Ricciardo. But with the slipstream, he will surely get back in it. Hamilton is within DRS of Lando Norris, but he isn't really making a dent in that McLaren's time, is he? Charlie Tolhurst has just said, just seen some updates. Mercedes are on a different strategy, both on the hards, while Max Verstappen on Red Bull and the two McLarens are on mediums. Yes, so that's interesting that the Mercedes went for hard tyres at the start, both of them. And Hamilton's closer to Norris now than he has been before. But interestingly, Verstappen is closing on Ricardo again. So Hamilton has the opportunity to wait until everyone in front of him pits, then go that much further on into the race if he can preserve his hard tyres, because obviously the hard tyres, longer duration, and you never know, you might get a safety car and then you come and pit, and then your Christmases have all come early because you've got a brand new set of boots on your car. And you pretty much got a free pit stop. So we'll see what the Mercedes strategy is. As Verstappen's closer than ever now, going down the main straight. But Ricardo's moving around a bit to try and break that toe. And we got Valtteri Bottas, who's going to also try and make a move on Esteban Ocon into the curve at Alboreto. Hamilton radio now then. And Hamilton being told they're seeing some tired egg on the medium runners now then. And he doesn't want to get too close, does he, Lewis Hamilton? And we got both the Red Bull and the Mercedes now bearing down on both McLarens then. So the leaders are Ricardo from Verstappen, from Norris, from Hamilton, from Leclerc, from Perez. That's the top 6. And Hamilton's close now. Lando Norris's medium tyres just starting to fall off the cliff a bit. And have Mercedes got this spot on if they can survive the start? And we have to wait and see. Hamilton goes wide into the curve at Alboreto. That's the line he's been taking all weekend then. But is he close enough? He looks a lot closer this time then. And can he go for a move on Lando Norris? Lando Norris is going to cover the inside. Hamilton's going to have to go all the way to the outside of the Rettifilo. And they get super, super close to making contact. And Lando Norris holds his position, but Hamilton's going to get a run all the way through Curva Grande, is he? Can he go to the inside? Lando Norris goes to the outside. He's so close to contact. And there's still, Lando Norris still holds Hamilton behind. Robust defending from Lando Norris, but Hamilton's so close now. But good defensive driving from Lando Norris. Great driving from both drivers there. If he left the car's width, then he is allowed to do that.
Lewis has got to be just a little bit tighter, having a little bit more bound up, having to take the tighter line to Ricardo Grande.
And has that just cost Lewis Hamilton a bit of time? Norris radio. And Norris has been warned of track limits at turn 11, but we're on board with Hamilton again, going down the main straight. Is he going to be close enough? He's gaining. The orange of Lando Norris. No, he thinks better of it. And the move down the inside of the Rettifidio. But he's going to have that opportunity at the Curva Grande. Is he again? No, and Ricardo still leading this Grand Prix. Hamilton thinks of it as Valtteri Bottas goes down the inside of Nicholas Latifi and into the points paying positions then. Daniel Ricciardo helping Lewis Hamilton at the moment to keep Verstappen at bay, but it's how long can Ricardo keep Verstappen at bay? Let's go on board with Valtteri Bottas then and look once again at that move on Nicholas Latifi to put Valtteri Bottas into the points paying positions, and he's got that done before the braking zone at the Rettifidio chicane then. And we're looking at some grading on Lando Norris's tyres then.
In the Prix series, F2 and GPT 8 times in the past, got a podium in 2017, so lots of experience at Monza.
See what those hard times don't look, I would say, particularly good in that slow
and Verstappen's just within DRS, but Hamilton is close to Lando Norris again, and he's going to get DRS again. Is Lewis Hamilton? Lando Norris looking in his mirrors. Hamilton once again thinks about it at the Rettifidio, but decides no. Norris radio.
We see the same with everyone on the medium. Hamilton has to go long. Ideally, we do plan A, but with plan B, target that.
That doesn't confuse matters at all, right, does it?
So, Lando Norris being told he's got to do plan A with a plan B, target that. And all the while that Lando Norris is holding up Lewis Hamilton, the gap to Verstappen is building, and Charles Leclerc is also arriving at the party now as well. And something's just flown off the Red Bull, Max Verstappen, is it?
With all the trees that overhang the circuit here, leaves, but is there a branch as well? Or even a bit of
The Red Bull just ran over something.
Certainly not. Verstappen hasn't got DRS.
And Verstappen hasn't got DRS now.
Ricardo might just
yeah, he has got DRS actually. Hamilton's also got DRS, has he? And Leclerc isn't far out DRS. He's 1.5 behind. Verstappen was 0.3 of a second slower on that tour than Ricardo then. But Leclerc's got pace then. Here. Stroll's in 8th. He's having a good race for Aston Martin. Leclerc in 5th then. Handy 5th. And he's not far off the next group of cars. As who's that? Is that the Lance? Oh, there's contact between Stroll and Esteban Ocon going into the De La Rossia. And has that damaged? Has the Aston Martin got any damage? I think it was tyre to tyre. Vettel radio. And Vettel is not a happy bunny. Let's have a look again. Does he leave him a car's whip? Esteban Ocon. No, he does not. Leave him a car's whip. And that could be a penalty for Esteban Ocon. Vettel radio.
And unsurprisingly, it's being noted.
It's been noted by the stewards, unsurprisingly. And Verstappen now is close to the back of Ricardo, and that incident is under investigation between Esteban Ocon and Sebastian Vettel, forcing another driver off the track. Verstappen can't get past Daniel Ricciardo at the moment. Then we're on lap 16 of this Italian Grand Prix. We've seen a lot of attempts to overtake, but not many have come off that great at the moment. And I'm sure Ocon will get a penalty, but what penalty is it? Verstappen is just about within DRS range. But he isn't going to quite, he's just not close enough, is he? Is Max Verstappen. And we're going to see Valtteri Bottas in the little box as well. Who's he? He's just behind Fernando Alonso. He's gaining on Fernando Alonso. He's going past Fernando Alonso, and he's going to get that moved on before the braking zone on the main straight then. Ricardo's saying it's just damage limitation on his tyres now. It is we expect in about 5 laps from now, expect to see some action in the pit lane.
In New York, then probably surely Australia can stay up late to watch what Daniel Ricardo can do. I know it's approaching midnight.
Let's go on board with Max. I'll have a look at Max's grading. Oh dear, that does not look too pretty on his front right tyre or his rear tyre.
Just don't go into work tomorrow. If Daniel Ricardo wins this race, that is cause for a national celebration. Surely McLaren leading more laps today than they have done in the last 9 years.
McLaren leading more laps today than they have done in the past 9 years. We know they've been quick. Also, Verstappen radio. And Verstappen saying he is sliding. We can see that on the camera images that we're getting given. Is Verstappen going to be in the pits? And he would come out in the Stroll Bottas fight, come out behind Bottas. And he wouldn't want that, would he? He's got a 6-second advantage over Lewis Hamilton. And you'd expect Hamilton to go longer in this race because he's on the hard tyres.
I just want to say as well, the progress that Valtteri Bottas is making here, and the fact that on his last lap he was 7 tenths quicker than Lance Stroll, if he could clear Stroll in the next 2 or 3 laps, he could then have an influence on the
And if Bottas could clear Stroll, he could have an influence, couldn't he, on the Vettel and Max Verstappen if he can hold him up.
It might still be possible that he is.
Yeah, he's on the hard tyres, mind you, and yeah, absolutely.
And Hamilton's now out of DRS with Lando Norris.
He's going to Alfa Romeo next season. If you haven't been with us to catch up on all the latest Formula One news, Valtteri Bottas after 5 seasons as teammate to Lewis Hamilton has been told we don't need to.
And we're going on board with Esteban Ocon in 12th, and he is chasing down Nicholas Latifi for 11th then. He's got DRS, but he isn't going to be close enough to Nicholas Latifi. He will be teammates with Alex Albon, won't he? Latifi P11, Russell P14.
Points last time out in Zandvoort, but did get points.
Bottas radio.
now 1.3 seconds behind Lando Norris. So the next
And
he's got the opportunity to pounce at the Aston Martin. So is it?
not a huge amount of action going on at the moment then.
Could they bring Verstappen and Ricardo in now to cut off any threat of coming out behind Valtteri Bottas, who will be going much longer on those tyres?
Will Red Bull pit now?
They've got enough in the system at the moment. They're 27 seconds ahead of Bottas. So they've got a little bit of slack there that they can take up. Yeah, Ted, what can you tell us?
Ricardo's been on the radio saying the rears are really starting to take quite a hit now. Being reassured by the McLaren pit wall saying, look, it's the same for everybody.
Ricardo saying his rears are starting to take the hit now on these medium tyres. We go on board with Valtteri Bottas in the little box. He can't quite get past Lance Stroll. Verstappen radio. Has this Verstappen got a potential problem here? It's almost 7, but it's a time penalty for Esteban Ocon of 5 seconds for forcing another driver off the track. So that will have to be served when he comes in for his next pit stop. Ricardo radio. And Valtteri Bottas coming really close to the back of Lance Stroll now. And that Red Bull and Max Verstappen's really dropping back. What has happened to that Red Bull? Let's have a look. He locked up. Verstappen locked up and went straight on at the Rettifilo, and that is what has cost him time. And his tyres are already looking pretty screwed, and now screwed even more. Verstappen radio. It's not been plain sailing for Max this afternoon, is it? Or so far this afternoon. And Bottas still behind Lance Stroll, but he isn't far behind Lance Stroll. And he is now, I think, just about, or might just be outside DRS, but it won't be long. And he'll be within the DRS range of Lance Stroll. Ricardo radio again. Ricardo saying definitely plan A. So the leaders then are Ricardo from Verstappen, from Norris, from Hamilton, from Leclerc, from Perez, from Sainz, from Stroll, from Bottas, and then Alonso rounds out the top 10. But it's Valtteri Bottas. He's getting closer to the Aston Martin. He's within DRS range now, is he? Yes. He's gaining on Stroll. He's gaining on Stroll. He's gaining on Stroll. He's going to go past Stroll. He's going to go down the inside of the Rettifilo, is he? Good move. And up into 8th position goes Valtteri Bottas. And now the charge is on in clean air for Valtteri Bottas. He's got a 7-second gap. Oh, the turn 2 incident involving Verstappen has been noted. And Ricardo saying really tricky to control the tyres. So if Bottas is finding the straight line speed to get past cars, why is Hamilton not? And McLaren are coming out to the pit lane then. And so are Red Bull. Ricardo comes in. This has got to be a good stop for McLaren. It is a good stop. 2.4 seconds then. And turn 2 incident involving Max Verstappen, no investigation necessary. Verstappen radio didn't quite understand what that said.
So what I think that would have been for Red Bull is do whatever he doesn't do. He pits, you carry on.
Yeah, so I think Red Bull said if he pits, you carry on. If he carries on, you pit. The opposite, vice versa then. But how far can Verstappen go in this race on those medium tyres? Verstappen radio. Max Verstappen saying his tyres are shot. And it's a 24% chance of a Verstappen overtake now. And Verstappen now is coming in to the pits. And what is Ricardo's outlap? So Norris takes the lead of the race then. It's slow for Verstappen though. He's still waiting. What is happening for Max Verstappen? It's so slow. And it's 11.1 seconds for Max Verstappen. And they're going to come out behind Valtteri Bottas as well. And Lance Stroll. Verstappen could well as Hamilton takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Verstappen is going to come out. Hamilton's got past Lando Norris as well. Oh, it's all gone horribly wrong for Red Bull and Max Verstappen now. Lewis Hamilton's got clean air. And in a swing of about 30 seconds, Hamilton radio. And in about half a lap, the Italian Grand Prix has just been turned on its head completely. Let's see what went wrong at Red Bull then. Verstappen radio. And he finally went, and Norris is in the pits now as well. So Norris makes his pit stop then. And Daniel Ricciardo is going to get past Carlos Sainz, is he, to the Rettifilio? Yes. And Sainz locks up for good measure as well. Lando Norris comes out behind the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. And behind Valtteri Bottas, crucially, behind Valtteri Bottas. The team game could well come into this. So 16 seconds is the gap out in front. And Hamilton's still got to stop. How long do they keep him out? Do they stop him now? Verstappen radio. Hamilton's in for a set of medium tyres then. And let's see what the stop time is for Mercedes. It's slow for Mercedes as well. 4.2. But that is a lot quicker. And he's going to come out wheel to wheel with Max Verstappen, is he? Verstappen's coming down the main straight now. Hamilton's coming out of the pits. Where's Verstappen? He's going to come out side by side with Lando Norris, is he? And Verstappen is going to try the outside of the Rettifilio on Lewis Hamilton. Oh, there's contact. And they're both out of the race. The two championship antagonists collide at Monza. They are both out of the Italian Grand Prix. Hamilton and Verstappen collide. And the Vettel chicane. And it's a full safety car deployed. But Hamilton and Verstappen have come together at the Vettel. Oh my word. Hamilton and Verstappen collide at Monza. And Lewis has got damage on his roll loop. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton radio. Hamilton and Verstappen collide at Monza. And they are both out of the race. Hamilton and Verstappen collide. And I think Verstappen hit Hamilton's halo. Oh my word. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Bottas is in. Ricardo leads the Italian Grand Prix. And what will the stewards think? Hamilton's climbing out of his Mercedes car. And this, he hit the halo, yes. Did the halo just save this from being a very nasty crash indeed? That is not good to see, where cars climb over the top. And that is brilliant to see both drivers walking away. And let's have a look at it again then. He moves across. Oh. Did Hamilton leave him enough space? So Lewis has taken the racing line. Oh yeah, he went over the halo. It's hit the halo. Verstappen hit the sausage curb, and it's hit the halo. That is not good to see. Hamilton's left him room, I think, there. Look, does it hit the halo? It goes across the top of the rollover hoop, and it comes down on the halo, yes. And it's on top of the halo. That is a very, very scary accident indeed. That's a very scary crash indeed.
They really are, and it's an incident. Well, as every race ticks on towards Abu Dhabi, that has huge ramifications for a type of race. Two teams that aren't exactly best of friends, Red Bull
and
Mercedes. Two drivers that have a healthy respect for each other, but they know they need to seize every opportunity that comes their way on the track. And
unsurprised, that will be investigated after the race. And wow. Here's my honest view. I honestly think they're both at fault. So if I was the stewards, I think you've got to give it as a racing incident.
After the race, I'm sure we'll hear from Toto Wolff and from Christian Horner as well. And hopefully both drivers and their views on it. As Hamilton makes his way.
And that's his first, that ends his point scoring run, his DNF run, doesn't it? Ricardo, so the order now is Ricardo, Leclerc, Norris, Perez, Sainz, Bottas, Stroll, Alonso, Russell, Ocon, Latifi. And let's have a look. And
so Verstappen still hasn't finished in the top 4 at Monza. Lewis Hamilton has his first retirement, first DNF in 63 starts. You go back to Austria 2018 for the last time that Lewis Hamilton retired from the race. It's only his second retirement since Malaysia 2016. That was 84 starts ago. Ted, down to you.
Well, I'm going to see if the duo are going to come past me in the pit lane, but we should start a new saying, Crofty. Sprint race on Saturday, Max and Lewis collide on Sunday. Because that's what we had again after Silverstone. You're right about the people who pitted. Charles Leclerc, the big gainer of the safety car, into P2 now.
And I'm sure the halo has certainly saved Lewis Hamilton from some injuries here.
Bottas did too, as did Sebastian Vettel pitted again under the safety car. I'll go and find out exactly what.
And I tell you what, if it wasn't for the halo and the rollover hooping, well, the halo especially, Lewis could have been very, very seriously injured in that crash. And Hamilton's got a bit of security. So let's have a look at it again then. See, Verstappen goes late on the brakes, and he bumps the curb, and that launches him up on top of Lewis Hamilton's halo. It's a scary crash. Nice.
Sticky tires when you put the two faces together like that.
I honestly think this could be a racing incident. The two championship protagonists have collided at Monza, and they are both out of the Italian Grand Prix. Verstappen hit the bump. He was alongside. He went up over the top of Lewis Hamilton's car and landed on top of the halo. Yeah.
Safety structure and the halo very much doing its job, but as you can see,
did the tyre
still contact between the tyre and Lewis Hamilton's head.
And the good thing is, Max hasn't got any power going. I remember Senna landed on my shoulder once in Formula 3 and had the engine revving. It absolutely terrified me.
And that'd be a terrifying one for especially Lewis Hamilton.
Once Lewis squeezed it, Martin, and Max got onto the sausage car, he was going to get launched, and that the stewards will be looking at that, saying, "Well, you know, what did you think was going to happen, Max, and what did you think was going to happen, Lewis?" And these are the questions that will be asked after the race.
And that will go to the stewards' room for sure.
That's the big thing I look at. It was the oscillations by Max having enough space going across the curb that then bounced them into Lewis's tyre and then it elevated the car. I don't like these sausage curbs on the apex of corners. I don't like cars sliding across, hitting them out of control. And in that scenario, you can see, I mean, horrible to see. So I think we probably have to look at both aspects.
Do we have to look at the sausage curves? Should they be there?
He's not even, he's so curious. Hearing the sounds of Grand Prix cars going round and him not in the race. He doesn't even want to go to the Red Bull pit stand and see Christian.
Hamilton and Verstappen are furious. They've gone straight to the back of their garages. And Verstappen, is he going to exchange something with Helmut Marko?
He's just said to Helmut Marko, he doesn't leave me any space.
He just said he doesn't leave me any space. I think Hamilton left him space and they collided. That's my honest view of it. Maybe Red Bull have another angle that we don't see. Did Hamilton leave him enough space on the exit? That's what you could argue. So the maximum the stewards could give is a grid penalty for the next round.
Stage, it looked like Lewis Hamilton was going to claw back the 5 points that he was adrift in the championship with Max Verstappen. With 8 rounds to go, I'm assuming we are going to get 8 rounds to go.
Safety cars in this lap then.
Given the state of flux that the calendar might be in at the moment, with 8 rounds to go, there will be a 5 points difference between Verstappen and
Norris radio. Norris being told he's going to have his chance on the clerk. We talk about that collision after the race, but for now, the talking of that Bottas radio, the talking of the collision stops. The talk about the Italian Grand Prix carries on. Ricardo weaving his way then. Now he's gone. The clerk's gone with him, so is Lando Norris. And we are back to green flag racing again at Monza, and Lando Norris is super close to Charles Leclerc. Is Lando Norris going to try and get past Charles Leclerc? Yes, he is. And they're going to go wheel to wheel into the Rettifidio again, LA. Leclerc and Norris almost collide. They almost came together. I think they just about avoided it. Valtteri Bottas thinks about the outside. And Carlos, no, Sainz and Norris goes over the grass at Curva Grande and down the inside of Charles Leclerc. It's a McLaren 1-2 at Monza. And there's more dust being kicked up in the background. Norris was on the grass at Curva Grande and he got through. Wow. It's a McLaren 1-2. Let's go have a look at that again then. He went on the grass at Curva Grande. Wow. Norris radio. And Norris has got a second track limits warning at turn 11. Race control, car 4, Norris 230. It's been deleted because he went wide at turn 11 on the safety car restart lane. And it's that Valtteri Bottas going for moving Carlos Sainz. He's going to go to the outside of the Rettifidio, is he? Is Sainz going to leave his nose in there? No, Bottas, the only remaining Mercedes in his race. And the two Williams, the Alpine and Nicholas Latifi going at it as well. There's action everywhere. You look, the two Hasses almost go nose to rear as well. Perez gets past Charles Leclerc, does he? Into the dead of ocean chicane. Perez goes over the bumps, but yes, gets through. Charles Leclerc now. Can he get back at him round the Lesmos? No. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. What's happened in Sector 2 then? And someone gone off again. No, green flag. So let's go on board with the Haas. Oh, there's contact between Mick Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel. Let's go on to the Rettifidio. And the two Hasses have collided. Schumacher and Mazepin collide. They both carry on. Perez goes over the bumps. And he's saying Leclerc didn't leave me any room. And Leclerc's got past Bottas. But Bottas is going to come back at Leclerc. Towards the Rettifidio chicane they go. And Bottas is going to leave his nose in there. They lock up again and Leclerc now has to go over the bumps. But he stays ahead, but Bottas is going to get the inside at Curva Grande. And he's finally got back up into fourth position. Or has he? No, because Leclerc's going to come back into the dead of ocean chicane. He's done it. Wow, what brilliant racing at Monza this afternoon.
position. But if Bottas can clear this Ferrari quickly, he's got every bit as good a chance to win this Grand Prix too.
Bottas could still win this Grand Prix, remember.
He's only a couple of spots off it as it stands. For the rest of it, head to you.
I said that when you come into the front, they came on the radio and they said they're happy to keep the position at the moment. But I think in worst case, it'd be a 5-second penalty, but it'd be further up the road. So that's probably why Red Bull is saying just carry on as you are.
So the two McLarens are getting very, very close to each other. And the incident between Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin has been noted, but Norris is within DRS range of his teammate Lando Norris. But Valtteri Bottas is going to try the cloak again at the rest of the video. Has he got it done this time? Yes. So Bottas really super quick down the straight then. So the two championship protagonists did collide at Monza, and that has meant it is a McLaren 1-2. But Norris is closing down on Ricardo and is within DRS range now. Bottas radio. And Bottas saying, how is he allowed to cut this chicane and get a toe from it? It doesn't matter because Bottas got past anyway. And Daniel Ricciardo leads Lando Norris by 1.1 seconds. 4.1 seconds covers the top 5 then. 34 of 53 laps of this quite incredible Italian Grand Prix have been completed this afternoon. It's the first time Lewis Hamilton's retired from a Grand Prix since Austria 2018. Down the straight, DRS train in the top 5 of the field then. And Valtteri Bottas is 1.3 seconds quicker than the leaders then on that last lap. And is Sergio Perez going to try and move on Lando Norris? 10 seconds covers, 9.5 seconds covers the top 10 in this Monza Italian Grand Prix. We know we keep coming to this place wondering when it will deliver a boring race. We thought this year it might. It certainly has not. Norris radio. And Norris saying Ricardo needs to pick up the pace. He's going too slow. I don't think McLaren will give team orders here. But the top 4 are nose to tail going into the Alboreto curve then. They're all on the mediums now pretty much. Well, Perez is on the hards, I think. I think Perez might be the only one in the top 5 that is on the hards. And Valtteri Bottas then is closer to Perez than he's ever been before. And he's going to not get through at the rest of the video this time. But all the while, Perez and Bottas are battling. The two McLarens, Ricardo radio. Ricardo being told to pull a gap if possible. Norris half a second quicker on the last lap. If you're Andreas Seidel, what do you say to the two drivers on the closing stages? Hold station or race? They're 1 and 2 in this race at the moment on McLaren. It'll be one of their best results in 10 years if they can hold on to this then. The Clerks now joining this party in 5th as well. There's a 5-way fight for the lead of the Italian Grand Prix.
behind the safety car. Ricardo, 125.7
And Perez has got DRS, so is Bottas. Crucially, Lando Norris doesn't have DRS. And Bottas is trying to get past Sergio Perez. He's as close to Perez as he's been. There's bits flying off the back of the Red Bull, though. Ricardo Radio. Ricardo's being told to up his lap times. You cannot script it.
Yeah, we saw earlier on in the race that the mediums weren't really going that well, the Bottas, but of course they've burned off a lot of fuel since then. The track's rubbing in a little bit more. Track temperature dropped 1 degree, so it could be the tire at the end. But it was surprising that we saw the acceleration of the
When will this season deliver a boring race?
At least a car's length in front of whoever's behind you. Just how yo-yos around.
And here is interesting news from the stewards room. Sergio Perez has been given a 5-second time penalty.
Sergio Perez has been given a 5-second time penalty
When he was tackling at the Delaware chicane, came back onto the track
for overtaking off the track.
He's been pushing his luck a little bit this week.
But Perez,
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't give it back straight away. So clear.
and Perez and Bottas. Bottas is going to go for a move on Sergio Perez. No.
5-second time penalty, though, will be taken after the race. So add it to his race time, which is not what Valtteri Bottas wants to hear, because he quite like Perez to be 5 seconds behind him. So as it stands at the moment, that is going to still thwart Valtteri Bottas to a certain extent, because he just can't get past the Red Bull, but it is going to push Perez down the final.
And so Perez has just got a 5-second time penalty, though.
In terms of what he can achieve this afternoon, he's tantalising. He's only 2.3 seconds off the lead in P4 there.
Come on, Valtteri Bottas. We know that you can produce this sort of performance. We haven't seen it enough. It is the
And Valtteri Bottas then is close to the Red Bull Sergio Perez, but obviously Sergio Perez has a time penalty anyway. Perez Radio. And Perez asking, is Lando Norris going to get a penalty as well? There's nothing for Lando Norris yet.
Russia 2020 will go to the next race. It's almost a calendar year since Valtteri Bottas last stood on the top step of the podium, but he is definitely...
It is almost a calendar year since Valtteri Bottas stood on the top step of the podium.
Between him and the race leader Daniel Ricardo, and look how much closer Charles Leclerc is getting to the action.
And Leclerc now is right on the back of the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas. It's crucial for Valtteri Bottas to clear the Red Bull. And so and the Ferraris, both Ferraris, are closing down on the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas.
And this Perez penalty is going to make them sick. They've already had a gift from Red Bull with that slow pit stop. Then with the Max accident with Lewis, but McLaren, and they've got another gift. Red Bull giving McLaren another gift.
So the order is Ricardo, Norris, Perez, Bottas, Leclerc, Sainz, Stroll, Alonso, Russell, Ocon, Latifi, Kubica, Vettel, Giovinazzi, Schumacher, Mazepin, and out of the races the two AlphaTauris and Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen after they collided at the Rettifilo chicane then. And that one will be investigated after this race. And Nikita Mazepin's been given a 5-second time penalty for hitting his teammate for causing a collision at the Delaware chicane then. And the Ferraris have just both dropped back a bit. Let's go on board with Mazepin again and that incident between his teammate. Oh no, Mazepin went straight on at the Rettifilo and has he And it's a 5-second time penalty. Oh, for Mazepin, yeah. And Mazepin's also rearranged the furniture at turn 1 as well. He locked up and, yeah, he wiped out some of the bollards as well. That bollard has had a bit of a battering all weekend long. So the championship gap in front is 5 points, but obviously it will stay that way because they're both out of the race. Norris Radio. And Lando Norris has been told not to race Daniel Ricciardo. It's the best, isn't it, for McLaren, the 1-2. That is the best team effort. I'm sure Lando would love to win this race as well.
Seems to be a very similar theme here in Italy. Yeah, because Bottas has stalled out, hasn't he? He's stalled out. In terms of...
And Bottas has dropped back a bit in this one now. Did he take too much life out of his tyres? Let's go on board with Valtteri Bottas then. And have a look. Sergio Perez. Oh, Bottas is locked up. Going into the Rettifilio at turn 1. There's a double yellow flag in sector 1. What has gone on? Someone stopped on the straight. I think someone's had an incident. No, green flag. Track clear. When the marshal's out there replacing some of the blocks, maybe that might have been why we had that yellow flag out there. 2 seconds then, out in front. Valtteri Bottas now has DRS on Sergio Perez, but of course Perez has a time penalty. The knees are shaking at McLaren, and rightly so, on every single McLaren mechanic in that garage then. Alonso isn't done yet. He's putting pressure on Lance Stroll, the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. The remaining Mercedes in this race then, Valtteri Bottas is having a good battle with Sergio Perez. Leclerc and Sainz have decided they're going to join this party as well. The top 10 all separated under 10 seconds at this moment in time then. And if he can hold on for another 11 laps, it would be Daniel Ricciardo's first win since Monaco 2018. And Valtteri Bottas is really close to Sergio Perez, and he's going to try the outside of Perez. Is he at Rettifilio? Not quite. He can't quite do it. We've seen two Red Bulls and we've seen a Red Bull and a Mercedes collide already this afternoon. But Bottas is going to get the slipstream all the way through Curva Grande. He's going to go to the inside of Curva Grande, is he? And he's going to have the outside for the Della Rosa chicane. He's ahead, yes. Can he make it stick low? Perez is coming back at the Lesmos, and he's got him back. And Sergio Perez at Lesmo 1. Valtteri Bottas just went too deep into the Della Rosa chicane. Let's have a look at it again then. He gets a slipstream through Curva Grande. And he just brakes too late. There's Valtteri Bottas. Just too late on the brakes. And Toto Wolff is a very, very angry man. I think for two reasons. One, he's made... Oh, and there's a Haas on Nikita Mazepin that stopped on the exit of Iscari. And I think that's had a trip through the gravel, has it? The double yellow flags are out, so no overtaking. It's Iscari. And will that be a virtual safety car then, maybe? A virtual safety car then.
Very fast part of the racetrack. The only way to cover it is like that, which...
So the drivers must decrease their speed by 40%. And there's no overtaking. Expect it to be a very quick virtual safety car because they're pretty much cleared that hassle already. Let's see what happened then on board with Nikita Mazepin. It just conked out, didn't it? Yeah. It's an electrical problem. The dash just went completely.
Somewhere safe to do so. So mechanical failure for Nikita Mazepin takes him out of
Mechanical failure, and we are still under the virtual safety car then. Because that's already cleared, and the virtual safety car is ending, and it can be removed at any point. Where are they going to go? Green now, they go green. And we are back. Green flag racing at Monza. And Valtteri Bottas hasn't reacted very well at all. And it's going to be Charles Leclerc that might well be right on his rear wing. No DRS yet. Then. And he isn't quite going to be close enough with Charles Leclerc. Going to the Rettifidio.
Straight line testing, it was so sad. So unlucky for him.
And obviously the Michele Alboreto corner named after the great late Michele Alboreto. As Kubica gets past Sebastian Vettel. Driver of the day then, which is over now. Ricardo's first, 32% of the vote. Valtteri Bottas second with 25%. And Lando Norris third with 10%. Then Leclerc back within DRS of Valtteri Bottas. Then Ricardo's pulled a 2-second gap out in front. He's rather putting the hammer down as he now has Daniel Ricciardo. He's found some pace. He's found some life in his hard compound tyres. Nice radio. Daniel's been told to try and put it away, as Lando Norris has told that. He's also been told try and put away with him. But Bottas locks up and goes wide at the Rettifidio. And obviously Bottas, if he wants to get into the podium, doesn't actually need to overtake Perez as long as he stays within 5 seconds of him. That's so the order at the moment is Ricardo, Norris, Perez, Bottas, Leclerc. Sainz is the top 6 then. So it's an orderly top 6 with 46 laps of 53 to go. Well, 46 of 53 laps completed.
For the Red Bull team, McLaren has had his struggles this season with braking issues on that McLaren car. Comes to a track where braking is absolutely fundamental, Martin, but one of the toughest of the season. He seems to have sorted those issues out this weekend.
Yeah, you can see the two McLarens harvesting. So this is a replay then of the championship contenders chipping under each other.
I don't know if Lewis would have known the risk he was running, not giving Verstappen a bit more space.
It's what did the steward say?
He's going to bounce into the air.
Yeah, and interesting that his left rear wheel was actually spinning around, wasn't it? The differential there, whether something was broken, the drive shaft was broken on the other side, the tyre that was literally parked on Lewis's head there and wasn't rotating.
big day in the championship battle.
It's turned the championship another big day in the championship battle, isn't it?
Alongside Lewis, who had his stop a bit normal, they've been clearly into the first chicane as well for good measure.
8 seconds faster for Red Bull, we wouldn't have had the issue. Second faster for Mercedes, we wouldn't have the issue. But this is why it's a team sport, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone has to.
It's a big talking point, isn't it? I'm sure Charlie Tolhurst and I will get more information on it on the F1 show on Thursday night. Maybe we need to add an extra F1 show on Monday night then. Maybe that's something we could talk about as Lando Norris.
To the championship and race winning contention, it just never really materialised. Honda went off to Valtteri and Red Bull, and Honda have had success with their new teams. This year they've taken the Mercedes power unit, that's given them a much more competitive edge.
Then
As team principal, and that's helped them.
I'm sure it will cause controversy, won't it? Two McLarens out in front then. It could well be a McLaren 1-2. And they are well within touching distance. My Instagram DMs are going crazy at the moment. They are going absolutely going mad. And the halo has certainly done its job. And and it's been a rather insane race. I'm going to read you some of the comments whilst we wait for the closing of this Italian Grand Prix. And it'll be the second longest gap that a constructor has gone without winning races, or with gaps between winning races. 4 laps to go in this Monza Classic then, and let's see what the headlines are from this race. Sky Sports say Hamilton and Verstappen clash again and both out. Ricardo leads. And it's been for Ferrari, much better 2021 for their home race than it was last year. Both cars retiring from that race. Lance Stroll has not finished higher than 7th than 8th so far this season. He's on the 7th place at the moment. Behind him comes Fernando. And it's been through the Marco Alboretti curve they go then. It's rather it's a train now really, but a train is not the word you'd use to describe this race. It's been a marvellous Monza afternoon for racing fans and McLaren as well. And as it stands, Valtteri Bottas will finish on the podium because Perez has got a 5-second time penalty. Perez radio.
Become the second Red Bull driver to lose a podium here at Monza. Remember, Max Verstappen lost third back in 2018.
Remember, Max Verstappen lost third in 2018 when he got a 5-second time penalty for forcing Valtteri Bottas off the track. That was at the Vettel video as well. The The Rettifilo has been the scene of all drama this afternoon then. 3 to go around Monza for Daniel Ricciardo. But you're driving the day now. Vote closes in 2 laps then, but there's 3 laps to go. And it might just be an Australian party tonight. He's led it almost from start to finish as Daniel Ricciardo and McLaren have rather been unstoppable this afternoon at Monza. They had a little helping hand with the championship protagonists coming together. And Valtteri Bottas also just dropping back. So far, we've lost Mazepin, Hamilton, Verstappen, and both AlphaTauris.
The fact is that when Verstappen and Hamilton took each other out, Ricardo and Norris were ahead of them anyway. It's not like Ricardo is going to.
The 2 McLarens head towards the Ascari chicane.
By taking Verstappen at the start and then driving a faultless race so far. Meanwhile, for allegedly failing to slow on the yellow flags, Lance Stroll is under investigation.
And Lance Stroll's under investigation for failing to slow on the yellow flags. The stewards have been very, very busy this afternoon, and once again they've got another big decision to make after this race, because that incident between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen will be investigated after the race. Penultimate lap then of this Italian Grand Prix.
Yeah, if he got past Perez in a hurry, I think he would have been in a very, very good position there to challenge the McLarens.
And if had Valtteri Bottas got past Sergio Perez, I think he'd have been in a very good position to challenge the McLarens. And they're going towards the Lesmos. Now, Hamilton, Verstappen took each other out halfway through the race.
Whose fault was it, Jack?
Probably a racing incident. But it was a scary one. Verstappen went straight over the back and went flying through the air.
I do hope Australia has stayed up for this. Whoever you're employed by is I'm going to give you the day off tomorrow.
It's the final lap of the Italian Grand Prix. It's nearly time to start the Ricardo party. He's within 3.6 miles of getting his first victory since Monaco 2018. The McLaren mechanics are already on the pit wall. They head round Curva Grande for one last time through the Della Rosia towards the 2 Lesmos. They've had 10 years of hard times, 10 years of times when they've been out of the points and been plumb last on a lot of them. But the 10 years is now over as Ricardo heads towards the Ascari chicane. One last time then. It's the McLaren 1-2. He's only got one more corner to go. The McKenny Alboreto bend. 10 years, 3 years for Daniel Ricciardo. The Ricardo party may now start in Australia. He mounts the McKenny Alboreto bend to win the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. It's the McLaren 1-2, and this is quite amazing. Sergio Perez comes home in third, but Valtteri Bottas will take the podium. Leclerc comes home in fifth, Sainz in sixth, and he will drop down to fifth for Sergio Perez. Alonso comes home in eighth. McLaren have won a race for the first time since 2011. Start the celebrations right now. And Zach Brown has got a beaming smile behind that mask. I'm sure it. And Ricardo got the fastest lap on the last lap as well then.
Very special win as well. His first as a non-Red Bull driver. He grew up as a Red Bull driver. Young driver and superstar for the future today. Lando Norris coming home in second for his best ever finish in Formula One. And I really can't see anyone begrudging McLaren their day in the sun here in Monza.
And I don't think anyone will begrudge McLaren for their day in the Monza sunshine. They got maximum points. Nice radio.
He's not unhappy about finishing second then.
I don't think Lando Norris is unhappy about finishing second.
He could have been on pole in Spa and actually ended up winning that race, Lando Norris, without the crash he had in the Standing Water Rouge and Radio.
Actually had today, took out Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. We will talk long about that, I'm sure, after the podium celebrations. Dare say this could be one of the happiest podiums we've seen in the season so far.
And it could be Ricardo radio.
This was going to come, so thanks for having my back. Thanks for anyone who thought I left. I never left. Just moved aside for a while. Thanks, guys.
And as he pulls in to the number one position.
We wait for Danny Rick to get out of his cockpit. I've just been sent a message from a friend of mine down under, says, I guarantee you, Crofty, we are all awake in Australia. As he stands
Wow.
he rises to beat his chest as a race winner at McLaren.
And that was something quite special as Daniel Ricciardo climbs out the car.
Congratulations. And in the Drivers' Championship, Lando Norris just gains a little bit on Valtteri Bottas. 9 points the difference in the battle for third place at the moment. Daniel Ricardo, 8th now in the championship. And he becomes the 5th driver to win in this 2021 season. There's his team boss, his team principal, Andreas Seidel, and Zach Brown, the CEO, who's masterminded McLaren's recovery. He's put all the pieces together and the jigsaw coming together very nicely.
Yeah, Zach's done a great job there, and so has Andreas, who's joined the team, and galvanised them. All the talent, all the skill, all the resource was there, just needed pointing in the right direction.
Driver of the day, Daniel Ricardo. Can't disagree with that at all. What a moment this is for McLaren as well. The end marks of the triple header, 3 intensive weeks for the boys and the girls and the crew and the garages back at base. It's relentless.
And it's that hard work
This is exactly the kind of
has paid off.
just the boost that they need. First big win since Brazil 2000.
And that was an absolute classic at Monza.
Apologies if you heard some bad language.
We apologise if you heard some bad language from Max Verstappen there.
I think everyone has come out. Mark Norris giving Daniel Ricardo a big hug and some well done, buddy. A stalwart of McLaren, Mark, for many, many years now. He's been through the highs and lows of that team. Well, so is Daniel Ricardo, the highs and lows all the way through this season. And this is a high that did he really think was going to come at the start of this year?
But they had the chance there and they took it, didn't they? Get your crash helmet, get your skidlet off, Danny. We want to see that flip top smile.
I don't think he could pull the crash helmet off because his smile.
And I don't think Ricardo's smile is too wide to get that crash helmet off. I hope we see a shoey. I really hope we do.
Do we want to see a shoey? Of course we want to see a shoey.
Wow.
He might be drinking from the shoey. You never know. He's got Valtteri Bottas with him now.
Valtteri Bottas then, speaking to David Coulthard.
The sprint race yesterday, third today from the back of the grid. Talk us through the race.
Yeah. I mean, starting from the back, it's never easy, and I told the team that I'm going to be on the podium today, so we did. So I'm glad we get more points than Red Bull, and yeah, I think otherwise we maximised from where I started, and obviously a shame with the crash with Lewis and Max, we lost some points there, but from my side, yeah, it was good fun.
Did you mention that crash? Did you see it at all on the big screens?
I didn't see really what happened.
Okay, well, I think I'll be curious to hear your opinion after it because it's been wheel to wheel with those guys all the time. But focusing on your race, we now go to Russia. Actually, we've got a replay here for you if you want to see it for the first time. Classic down the inside that becomes a bit messy as it took the second one. Any initial comments?
I mean, I don't know. It's unfortunate.
I understand it takes the time to digest that, but this debate will go on for some time. Ahead of going into the next Grand Prix, I guess you just focus on finishing out your career in Mercedes with the best results.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's a strong weekend from my side. The pace has been good, so it'll be nice to have 1 week of rest, and there we go again.
Okay, thank you, Valtteri. Congratulations.
Now Lando Norris.
Congratulations, big smile. Very important day for McLaren. And you know, amazingly, McLaren are the only team to get a 1-2 this season.
Yeah.
So I know you would have preferred that you were winning it, but this is a big moment for the team and your journey with them.
Cheers. Yeah. First of all, big thanks to everyone, all of the fans, all the team. We've had a pretty awesome weekend. So I don't know. I guess 4 years ago I joined the team. We've been working towards this, and we got a 1-2 finally. So yeah, a good step for us. I'm happy for, of course, Daniel getting the win and me P2. So just happy for the team.
Well, that's great. But you are a racer, and we did hear you on the radio giving Daniel the hurry up. Was it a moment where you were hoping that maybe it could be like earlier in the year in Imola, where Daniel moved to one side and you could have came through for the victory?
Of course. Yeah, you've been in that position before where you want to go for it, but I'm also here for the long term. I'm here for the team, and yeah, I don't know. It could have ended up like the other two ended up. So I'm just happy. I'm happy finishing second. I'm happy for Daniel in first place. I love my chance in the future, so all good.
Very mature, Lando. Fantastic. Congratulations. And finally, if we can disturb the man from down under for a moment, Daniel Ricardo, you're a winner again.
Can I swear? I want to swear.
No, you can't swear.
About time.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks. Oh, well. Yeah, I tried to
This was crucial. This is where it really happened for you at the start. Talk us through.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it worked well for me yesterday, and I knew, to be honest, even if we got the start, it was never a guarantee would lead the whole race, but was able just to hold firm out front the first stint, and I don't think we had mega speed, but it was enough just to keep obviously Max behind, and then I don't know, there were safety cars, there was this and that, but to lead literally from start to finish, I don't think any of us expected that, but I don't know, there was something in me on Friday. I knew something was
something good was to come. So let's just say that.
Well, whatever that was on you on Friday, you want to keep that for the next events, because this is a big day of celebration for you as a driver at McLaren, for McLaren as a team on the way back. But we've been waiting for you to show this kind of pace and performance. So put us in that car. The last couple of races have been strong for you.
Yeah, I just been sandbagging SOB the whole year. That's all. I mean, thirds, fourths, fifths, you might as well just win. So that's what I did. I honestly the August break was good just to reset. So I felt better the last 3 weekends, and to not only win but to get a 1-2, it's insane. For McLaren to be on the podium, it's huge. Let alone 1-2. So this is for Team Papaya. I'm for once lost for words.
Well, look, if you can't have a Ferrari victory for the Tifosi, you have your Italian roots. So a little word to the Italian fans here.
Yeah, ho visto Charles in secondo posto e ho pensato forse una... Oh, dear.
I actually didn't realize you spoke Italian.
Yeah. I'll give the crowd what they want. Pensavo c'era una Ferrari sulla podio oggi, ma ok, comunque spero un nome italiano abbastanza bene. Grazie mille, saluto mio, mamma e papà.
Well, thank you for that. I have no idea, but I imagine it was all good. Right, you need to get your shoe off because we're going to see the shoe on the podium.
Absolutely. I'm going to leave.
Go and enjoy it,
I don't know
Daniel.
what to say.
Go and enjoy it. Congratulations.
Okay. I'm very happy.
To come then.
Daniel Ricardo.
Brilliant.
And the shoeing to come as well.
Using his Italian to thank the Ferrari fans.
And using his Italian knowledge to thank the Ferrari fans as well, the Italian fans that have been out in force. And
I just stepped aside for a while. I hadn't disappeared. I'm not sure people were writing him off. Just confused by the fact that he seemed to be struggling a little bit, but he got that right at recent times.
Summer break helped, I think.
Yeah, he said on Smack over the weekend, I felt better after the summer break. He didn't expand on why or what he meant by that.
Found himself comfortable texture and rested for a bit.
Have a look.
Very rare you win a race at the first corner.
At the grading. But that move on Max Verstappen. 1. Daniel Ricardo, the Italian Grand Prix.
And they now lead, the lead now over Ferrari, 13.5 points in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes still out in front in their battle with Red Bull, and a different 16 points. 5 points between Verstappen and Hamilton. What do you think's going on in the garages of Red Bull and of Mercedes? What are the chats behind the scenes?
What's the chat between Red Bull and Mercedes and
Deputation, obviously, from both teams.
Jonathan Wheatley and Toto Wolff and
Depending their man,
I'm
sure Mercedes will be trying to say that.
I'm sure Red Bull will be defending Max, and Lewis will be, and Mercedes will be defending Lewis.
In Sochi, I personally don't think that anybody's going to be a Porsche blame, but we'll wait and see. It was a very bloody overtaking. You could argue. I was well alongside.
And now, welcome to the podium ceremony with Valtteri Bottas in third place. One of the most magnificent podiums at Monza. Valtteri Bottas climbs up to third position. And the big cheer for Lando Norris. And there's going to be an even bigger one for Daniel Ricardo in a minute. The highest Lando Norris has finished in his Formula 1 career. But the Italian Grand Prix winner, a very, very happy Daniel Ricardo. And in his honour, we will hear, and in his and McLaren's honour, we will hear the Australian and the British national anthem.
The Australian national anthem today for Daniel Ricardo.
podiums of the year then. And I'm sure Daniel Ricciardo, who's about to be presented the winner's trophy, is going to raise it very, very high indeed. Wait for the cheers. The party now starts in Australia and in Monza for McLaren.
Left the team the hope that had nurtured him and given him the opportunity. He's had to wait a little bit longer than he would have wanted for his next victory. Zach Brown, I don't know if you've ever had a plan as to when his first win as the man in charge of McLaren would come. I'm not even sure who would have thought that plan was going to come to an end at the start of today.
Lando Norris gets presented the second place trophy then. And the third place trophy will be presented by the president of the ACI, which will be given to Valtteri Bottas. It's the time that we've been waiting for a long time. It might just be now. That shoey time once more for Daniel Ricciardo. The champagne, he slams it down, and the confetti sprays. So does the champagne. And the shoes are about to come off for Daniel Ricciardo once he's finished spraying Zach Brown in all the champagne under the Monza sunshine. It's been an absolute classic this time around. Hamilton and Verstappen collided. This Italian Grand Prix had absolutely everything. We go on to Sochi in 2 weeks' time then. It's shoey time for Daniel Ricciardo. But we will see you in 2 weeks' time in Sochi when Formula One makes its very anticipated return.